Hello students, good morning. I hope you all are doing good as this is our first online class. Okay, so first we all need to get familiar with these online tools. So I have planned to start with the unit 3 as we have done few topics from this unit already. But at that time most of the students were participating in Nirvana, so they didn't attend the class. So for the uh, better standing of the new topics, it would be better if we can start uh, from the starting of this unit. Okay, so today I would like to start with unit 3. Unit 3 is electrochemistry. In this unit, you will learn about the different type of electrochemical cells, right? And we will also learn about the different type of electrodes and use of these electrodes. And also we will learn about the different type of batteries and corrosion part also. Okay, so first let's see what is the electrochemistry. Electrochemistry is a branch of chemistry which deals with the study of interconversion of electrical energy to the chemical energy and chemical energy to electrical energy. So it is electrochemistry is the study of the interconvergence of electrical energy to chemical energy and chemical energy to electrical energy and vice versa. Okay, so all these interconvergence between the electrical energy and chemical energy takes place through the redox reaction in a device that is called electrochemical cell. All right, so here, so all these interconvergence takes place through the redox reactions in a device called electrochemical cell. So before going to the next topic, first we have to understand what is a redox reaction. Okay, and then we will discuss about the electrochemical cells. So let's see what is a redox reaction. So you can see this redox is actually combination of two terms, red plus ox, where red stands for reduction and ox is stand for oxidation. Okay, so redox reaction is actually the combination of reduction oxidation reaction taking place simultaneously. So it is the combination of reduction and oxidation reactions taking place simultaneously. All right, so now let's see what is an oxidation reaction. Oxidation reaction is the reaction which involves the loss of electron. So it can be defined in different ways. So it is the reaction which involves the loss of electrons, or if there is an increase in the oxidation state of a species, then it is also This reaction is also called oxidation. Increase in the oxidation state of a chemical species. And it is called oxidation. Let's take an example. For example, zinc metal undergoes oxidation reaction resulting in the formation of zinc metal ion, and two electrons are released. So in this reaction you can see that there is the loss of two electrons, and also you can notice here that the oxidation state of zinc metal is 0. On the other hand, oxidation state of zinc metal ion is +2. So there is the increase in the oxidation state of zinc metal. So this type of reaction is called oxidation reaction. Now let's see what is the reduction reaction. So reduction reaction involves the gain of electron, gain of electrons, or in other words we can say it involves the decrease in the oxidation state of a chemical species, right? So let's take an example here. For example, copper metal ion present in the solution accept two electrons and get converted to copper metal, so solid copper metal, and this is aqueous form. All right, so here zinc metal is solid and it is in aqueous form. So in this case, what do you see? There is the gain of two electrons by the copper 2 plus metal ions, and also you can see the change in the oxidation state of copper here. It changes from +2 to 0. So there is the decrease in the oxidation state of copper metal species. So that's why this reaction is called reduction reaction. Now if we combine these two reactions, 1 and 2, and remember that reduction or oxidation never takes place independently. Both reaction takes place simultaneously. If there is a loss of the electron, then there should be other species which can accept those electrons. So oxidation and reduction reaction always takes place simultaneously. If we combine reaction 1 and 2, then what do we get here? Zinc metal reacts with the copper 2 plus metal ions present in solution, and we get zinc 2 plus ions aqueous and copper metal. Okay, so this overall reaction is called redox reaction. So in this reaction, you can see there is the increase in the oxidation state of zinc. So it means it is undergoing oxidation reaction. And copper 2 plus ion is getting reduced to copper metal. So this is the reduction reaction. Okay. So in this reaction also, one more thing we can see here, that copper 2 plus ion act as oxidizing agent, because these copper 2 plus ion oxidizes zinc metal to Zn2 plus, and itself get reduced to copper metal. So here copper metal ion act as oxidizing agent. On the other hand, zinc metal act as reducing agent. It reduces copper 2 plus ion to copper metal and itself get oxidized to Zn2 plus ions. So what is the reducing agent? Which it is the substance which reduces other chemical substances, other chemical species, and get itself oxidized, right? And what is the oxidizing agent then? Which oxidizes others, oxidizes others and get gets itself reduced. Okay, I hope now this concept is clear. What is the oxidation reaction, what is a reduction reaction, and what is a redox reaction, and also what is a reducing agent and oxidizing agent, because we will be using all these terms in during the course of this chapter. So it is very important to understand about all these terms. Okay, so now let's move to our next topic, that is electrochemical cell. So let's see what is an electrochemical cell. Electrochemical cell is actually a device. It is a device which converts the electrical energy to chemical energy or chemical energy to electrical energy. So what is the electrochemical cell? The electrochemical cell is a device which is used to convert electrical energy to chemical energy and chemical energy to electrical energy. Okay, based on this interconversion, these electrochemical cells are of two types: electrolytic electrolytic cells and galvanic cell. These are also called as voltaic cell. Okay, so first we will learn about the electrolytic cell. So what are the electrolytic cells? Okay, if you have any question, please keep writing in chat box, so I will take your query and then explain again. All right, if you have any doubt or you are not able to see my screen or any or not able to hear my voice, then please let me know. All right, so what is an electrolytic cell? So electrolytic cells are the cells which converts the el- electrical energy into chemical energy. So these are the electrochemical cells, electrochemical cells which converts the electrical energy to into chemical energy. Okay, or in other words, you can say in these cells electrical energy is used to force a non-spontaneous chemical reaction to occur. Okay, so what happens in these cells? In these cells, electrical energy is used to force an electrochemical and non to force a non-spontaneous chemical reaction to occur. Okay, so here the main purpose of electrolytic cell is in these cells electrical energy is used to force a non-spontaneous chemical reaction to occur. All right, now we will have a look at the different component of an electrolytic cell. So here first let me draw the diagram of electrolytic cell. So electrolytic cell consists of a container and two electrodes are dipped in the electrolytic solution taken in this container. So these are two electrodes and these electrodes are connected to the external battery. Okay, so here we are using the electrical energy from the external source. All right, so this and this these two electrodes are dipped in the electrolytic solution. Okay, all right, so now let's see the main components of an electrolytic cell. So in this cell, the main component of this cell is two electrodes. So in this cell, two electrodes are used. So main component is electrodes. So one electrode is called anode. Okay, let me first tell you. So what is the electrode? So what do you understand by the electrodes? Actually, electrodes are the solid conductors at which surface oxidation or reduction reaction takes place. So these electrodes may participate in oxidation reaction or not, depending on their nature. So what are these electrodes? Electrodes are solid conductors at which surface, at whose surface oxidation and reduction reaction take place, right? So as you know, so these electrodes are two types. One of them is called anode, another type is called cathode. Okay, at anode oxidation reaction takes place and at cathode reduction reaction takes place. And these anode and cathode are generally made of, both are made of metals, active metals. Active metals means these metals may participate in oxidation reduction reaction. Active metals or inert metals which don't participate in oxidation reaction, or carbon. so on. Okay, and in this, in electrolytic cell, these anode and cathode are dipped in a electrolytic medium. Okay, so now what is the electrolyte? Second, so second component, main component of electrolytic cell is electrolyte. So these two electrodes are dipped in the electrolyte. So electrolyte is a liquid conducting medium. So it is a liquid conducting medium which allow the flow of ions through it. It is a liquid conducting medium and an aqueous solution of metal salt. It can be an aqueous solution of metal salts, metal salt, or sometimes molten salt. Molten salt also can serve as an electrolyte also. For example, NaCl, molten NaCl also can be used as an electrolyte. Okay, so these are the three components. One is electrolyte and two electrodes, anode and cathode. So in this case, in electrolytic cell, anode and cathode are connected to a battery, external source of electricity. Okay, so in this cell, anode is connected to the positive terminal of the battery. So this is here, in this case, this is the anode. So you can see in this case, anode is positive terminal. It is connected to the positive, that's why it is a positive electrode. Okay, and on the other hand, the cathode is connected to the negative terminal of the battery. So it is called, so it is negative electrode. Okay, all right, so now this is the, and here we have taken it is electrolyte. For example, electrolyte, in this case electrolyte, molten NaCl is taken as a electrolyte. Okay, now what happens when the electricity is passed through the this cell, right? So in electrolytic cell, what happens? Electricity is used to force a non-spontaneous chemical reaction to occur. All right, so here what is happening when we pass the electricity through this cell? Electrolysis takes place, a reaction, a phenomena called electrolysis. When we pass the electricity through this cell, a reaction called electrolysis takes place. So here lysis means to break up something. Electrolysis, lysis means to break up. So now here, when the electricity is passed through the cell, electrolysis of molten sodium chloride takes place. So in this process, what is happening? This NaCl, the sodium ion and chloride ion present in NaCl, molten NaCl electrolyte, are separated from each other. Okay, so in this process, electrolysis process, what happens in this case? The sodium ion and chloride ions present in molten NaCl are separated. These ions are sodium ions and chloride ions are separated, and they migrate towards the opposite electrode. Okay, so it means, what does it mean? That sodium ion migrate towards the negative electrode, that is cathode. Okay, so these ions, they are separated, and because of passing the electricity. So the ionic force between the sodium ion chloride ion is destroyed, and then these ions are separated from each other and they migrate towards the opposite electrodes. Okay, so sodium ions migrate towards cathode, and you know cathode is negative electrode in here. So positive charge ions are cations are attracted by the negative electrode, that is cathode. That's why it is called, because it attracts cations, that's why it is called cathode. Okay, on the other hand, chloride anions are attracted towards the positive electrode, that is anode. That's why it attracts the anions, that's why it is called anode, and it is positive in this case. So both ions, opposite charge ions, migrate towards the opposite electrodes, and there they get discharged, undergo oxidation and reduction reaction, get discharged. So that's how this electrolysis reaction takes place. All right, so now in this, so these electrolytic, what now, you know, what is the use of these electrolytic cells? So where do we use electrolytic cell? This is very important part. You know, these electrolytic cells are mainly used for the extraction of the pure metals from the impure metals. So these electrolytic cells uses of, sorry, electrolytic cells. So these cells are mainly used for the extraction of pure metal from impure metal, and they are also used for the electroplating. Electroplating is the process of, is the you know, in this process electroplating, what is done in this process, a base metal is coated with the coating metal. All right, another metal, electroplating. For example, you may have heard, right, we use different type of silver coated or gold coated ornaments, right? And also we have different type of utensil like silver or gold coated spoons and many other utensils. So it is done using electrolytic cell, and this process is called electroplating. All right, and also they are also used for the industrial production of oxygen and chlorine gas. Okay, so now we will look at these electroplating and all the uses of the electrolytic cell at the end of this chapter. So first let's try to understand other type of electrochemical cells, that is galvanic cells. So these cells also called as voltaic cells. Okay, so these are the electrochemical cells. These are also an electrochemical cell which convert the chemical energy to electrical energy. So you can see these cells work exactly in opposite way of electrolytic cell. So in these cells, chemical energy is converted into electrical energy, or in other words you can say that in these cells a spontaneous chemical reaction takes place and electricity is generated. In other words, in these cells in this these cells, sorry, in this cell is spontaneous. Spontaneous reaction means which takes place naturally. Spontaneous reaction, chemical reaction takes place, and electrical energy is generated. Okay, so that's why these cells, these cells, this type of galvanic cells are used as a source of electrical energy, because these cells generates electrical energy at the expense of a chemical reaction. So these act as source of electrical energy, and they can be used as a battery, used as battery or accumulators. Okay, so you now we'll have a look at the different component of galvanic cells. Now main components, now we will look at the composition of or structure of galvanic or voltaic cells. Okay, before starting this also I would like to give you some examples of these. You know, you are very well familiar with the Daniell cell, right? It is a galvanic cell, Daniell cell, or all kind of secondary cell, lead acid battery, lead acid cells, lithium cells, right? Lithium ion battery, all these are the example of galvanic cells only. Okay, so now let's see the main components of galvanic cell. So to understand the structure or composition of galvanic cell, I would like to take the example of here Daniell cell. Okay, so how to construct a Daniell cell, which is an example of galvanic cell. Okay, so first component of galvanic cell is called oxidation half cell. Okay, this is the part of the galvanic cell in which oxidation reaction takes place. So in this part, in this oxidation half cell, oxidation reaction takes place. Okay, and in Daniell cell, the oxidation half cell is constructed by dipping a zinc rod in the zinc sulfate solution. Okay, so it is half cell is constructed by dipping, this is the zinc rod, it is dipped in zinc sulfate solution. This is the zinc rod and this is zinc sulfate, aqueous zinc sulfate solution. All right, 1 molar is concentration is also given 1 molar, and in this part this is called oxidation half cell. In this part oxidation reaction takes place. All right, so here, so zinc rod is dipped in zinc sulfate solution. So zinc rod is dipped in ZnSO4 solution here, aqueous. This is solid, and oxidation reaction takes place. So we can write the reaction also here. Zinc metal get oxidized here, and we get Zn2 plus ion, and electrons are released. So other half cell is called reduction half cell. In this part of the cell, reduction reaction takes place. Okay, and this half cell is constructed by dipping a, a copper rod into a copper sulfate solution. Okay, and it is dipped in copper sulfate solution. So here it is copper rod, and this is copper sulfate, aqueous copper sulfate solution. Its concentration is also 1 molar. All right. So in this reaction, in this part, reduction of copper metal ions takes place. So copper 2 plus ion reduced to copper metal. All right. So now these two electrodes are connected to a emitter. So these two electrodes are connected to an emitter by using an insulated wire. Okay, and this makes the external circuit. All right, so third component of this galvanic cell is external circuit. So in this, how it is made? In this, both electrodes are connected to ammeter, and in this case zinc, as you can see that in oxidation half cell, the oxidation reaction takes place and zinc metal get oxidized to Zn2 plus ion, leaving behind the electrons at the electrode. Okay, so because of the excess of electrons, this zinc rod is considered as a negative electrode. Okay, and on the other hand, at the copper rod, it acts as cathode here, and reduction reaction takes place in which copper 2 plus ion from the solution get deposit at the copper metal rod. Okay, and they consume the electrons and get changed to copper metal. So here there is the deficiency of the electron. Because of this, it is considered positive electrode. Okay, so these two negative and positive electrodes are connected to a ammeter. Ammeter is actually a device which measures the amount of current flowing through this device. All right, so in this case electrons flow this side and current flow other side in opposite direction. From anode to cathode, electrons flow. So this is the reduction half cell. So in this case, you can see that electrodes are connected, but still these liquids are not connected to each other. So for this purpose, one more thing is used here, that is called salt breeze. So salt breeze is a actually U-shaped tube, glass tube, which is filled with the inert electrolyte mixed with the agar-agar gel. Okay, inert electrolyte means because these electrolytes don't participate in the redox reaction, but they help us to maintain the electrical neutrality in these both half cells. Okay, so this is here, this is called salt breeze. So the main function of salt breeze, so next component we can write here, very important component, salt breeze. So it is a U-shaped glass tube filled with mixture of inert electrolyte, for example, KCl, potassium nitrate, or ammonium nitrate, etc. Mixture of inert electrolyte and agar agars. Okay, and main function of this salt breeze is to complete the internal circuit. So here these you can see here these two liquids are connected without mixing these liquids. Okay, so the main function of this salt breeze is to complete the internal circuit. Second, so salt breeze also maintain the electrical neutrality. Neutrality in both half cells. So you can see here during in the oxidation half cell, oxidation reaction takes place and Zn metal get oxidized to Zn2 plus ion, and these Zn2 plus ion dissolve in solution, right? So because of this reason there is now excess of the Zn2 plus ion, positive charge ions. So to balance the charge, to neutralize this excess of positive charge, some of the anions migrate from the U tube, this salt breeze, and the balance the excess of electric charge and maintain the electrical neutrality. Similarly here there is the excess of negative charge. So to maintain the electrical neutrality, some of the positive charge ions move from the salt breeze to this solution. Okay, so that's how this salt breeze help us to maintain the electrical neutrality in both half cells. All right, so now we have seen in this lecture that what is a redox reaction, right? And also we have learned what is an electrochemical cell and what are the types of electrochemical cell, right? So we have seen that electrochemical cells are of two types, right? So electrolytic cell and galvanic cell. Okay, if you have any question, any doubt about from the today's lecture, please let me know. Okay then, no doubt. All right, so thank you all for joining.